I didn't realise you started off racing motorbikes. You had over 40 wins in 1 year. Was that up in the not in the superbike?
No, it was sort of national level, but down at Brands Hatch mostly. Yeah.
Because I mean, I watched that. I got to tell you, I find that a more thrilling spectacle. Perhaps not the thing to say to an ex-Formula One world champion, but I find that a more thrilling spectacle almost than Formula One these days. I like to see a human actually doing something there rather than a head bobbling.
Yeah, I think you've got something there. I mean, that's certainly what appealed to me with bike racing when I started, and when I got drawn to it. And you can actually see the guys, you know, their knees are on the ground.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were talking just now about Carl Fogarty. I mean, you know, he's absolutely fantastic.
Well, Carl Fogarty, that's my sporting bugbear, so I wasn't sure. But Carl Fogarty doesn't get enormous respect in this country, but he's an amazing world champion. Barry Sheene, I think, won the 500cc champion once, did a Brute advert, and he was a household name.
No, well,
Carl Fogarty cleans up every year.
Talking about my mate Barry.
He's a good lad, yeah. He's a good lad, but Carl Fogarty is worldwide, he's an enormous figure on the bikes. Anyway, we're not really talking about bikes, I'm sorry about that. But is it more exciting than racing F1? When you're actually on the bike, risking life and limb like that, is it?
No, there's nothing to equal Formula One for the actual event itself, you know, and the importance and the tension. I think, you know, it is an enormously powerful spectacle, and to compete in Formula One, the pressures that come to bear make it worthwhile, and that's the difference.
I mean, it is the most. I think it's the second most watched thing on earth. I forget what was the most watched.
World Cup.
I think it was actually Super Bowl, might be, perhaps. Morecambe Wise, Christmas special, exactly right, John. Thank you very much for all your comments, appreciate that. So there's that, when you arrive on race days, there's nothing like that atmosphere then down on the circuit.
No, and you know that there's 300 million people watching worldwide, you know, when you start the race. So if you're sitting on the grid to win the World Championship, you're in the hot seat, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you get a lot of audiences, you know, big audience here,
yeah,
Johnny,
massive.
But, you know, but it's you know, that on top of having to compete as well.
So you feel that pressure as well, the eyes of the world on you.
It's great. I mean, it really does make the thing special.
And it also kind of provides the world, you know, the 300 million viewers with when it starts happening almost every other week. You start getting the Grand Prix sometimes. Do they have them back-to-back weekends, back-to-back?
So, rarely, yeah.
Very
mostly
rare.
every 2
But it
weeks.
is a sort of soap opera. We get to know the characters as well. I mean,
Yeah,
so you're very conscious of that sort of factor, and everything you do becomes, you know, worldwide news.
Yeah, there's the hype. It's like a big fight. There's a hype beforehand. There's some controversy in the background. There's Ferrari with different, you know, bits on their car or something, or, you know, Eddie Irvine said something outrageous about someone else.
Or women, generally.
Yeah, well...
in his case.
And perhaps we'll just draw a veil over that. And, you know, it's good. I mean, it's a show, but it's also a sport.
It's a show. I mean, I thought with this recent goings on with Ferrari, do you think that was, you know, when Ferrari won their appeal, do you think that was... That said to me, this is actually a lot about entertainment for those 300 million people because they wanted a good last day of the season, which they obviously got. Do you feel that?
Yeah, and I think there's a bit of confusion at the moment about whether it's a show, whether it's a sport. I think the show is there before the event. You know, there's the hype, but the actual racing is real. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I've been a driver. I know what it's like. You're in the car to win, and you pull everything you can out to win. So that's a sport, definitely.
And what about the rivalry between you and Sky Schumacher and people? You know, do they exaggerate the sort of feuds between drivers? Are you actually quite pally?
Well, I think if we hadn't raced against each other, we might have. You know,
we might have been friends.
We might.
In another life, Michael. In another life.
He's strange because he's away from when he's not being himself, the racing driver. He's you know, you can have a chat, but you know, he's so professional that when you race, there's no give and take there at all. It's all him.
When you go out with when racing drivers go out with their wives for like candlelit romantic meal, yeah, and you order yourself like a nice bottle of champagne. Are you ever tempted in the restaurant to say, thank you very much, waiter, and just go, okay.
Maybe we should do that.
Just in a restaurant. That's what I do if I was a Formula One driver. So like, thank you very much, garçon.
It's not very stylish, is it?
No, it's not very stylish. Is it a good feeling doing that?
It's great, yeah.
Is it?
It's good, yeah.
I always think there's something a bit Freudian about it, like the guy there, he's got the biggest bottle and he's spraying everyone. I think there's something very animal about it.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
I think I saw my dog walking recently, he tries to do a similar thing with other dogs when he's cocking his leg. Yeah. OK, do you know what, you've got a video out. This is Damon Hill's Wild and Wacky Races. Damon, give us the pitch.
Well, really, it's totally the opposite of Formula One. It's really just fun. You know, it's the things that people do with vehicles for, you know, wild and wacky reasons. They race things like beds, and they also race skidoos on water. which is ridiculous because you know, the moment the engine stops, it sinks.
It sinks, yeah.
So and there's drag racing and all sorts of events. No one gets hurt. I just want to say that.
No one gets hurt during the race. Can I say that I find drag racing about the most pointless, dull thing on earth. I mean, for a start, the car sometimes are so long they're almost on the finishing line when they start.
Well, you should see some of the things in here. I mean, you talk about pointless events. I mean, there are some really stupid ones in here. There's things that they do in Iceland, which is they have incredibly powerful four-wheel drives, and they try and get up a steep slope, which is impossible anywhere, and they just fall backwards down the hill. And there's,
I think I saw that on Clarkson once, actually. He did something like that, when they sort of light some gas to inflate the tyres. Did you see that?
Yeah, there's all sorts. I mean, there are some incredible people out there.
OK, we're going to have a look at a clip. Here we go.
Yes!
Acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 metres per second. Some things are too fast.
Too fast, too powerful and too ridiculous looking. In current-day drag racing, the premier category is top fuel, and there are two kinds. Dragsters, the ones that look like the Eiffel Tower on its side, and funny car. So called because they look, well, funny.
Beast. Damon, there have been some sort of rumours that you might have your own Formula One team.
Yeah, has been rumours about that. All I said was I wouldn't rule it out. You know, there's a lot I've still got to give. I learned a lot in Formula One, so possibly maybe one of the projects I'll look at.
I think it'd be a great thing to do, not with your money.
No.
If something's worth doing like that, it's really worth that being down with OPM or whatever.
I think my money would have paid for the petrol for a year. I mean, it's such an expensive
How much
event.
is it to run a team? How much are you looking for to run a team? We have some wealthy viewers.
Just to actually enter the event, you have to put down a deposit of something like $50 million.
$50 million?
Just to prove you've got the money, which is you know, it's and to run a team, you're looking at budgets of each year of 50 million upwards. You know, so
you have to be as rich as Team Croesus. Maybe there's some really wealthy industrialist out there who say quite a Eurosceptic and would like to have a team that celebrates this fact with like a Union Jack on it and you as its icon. And it can promote...
Wow, it's perfect.
Oh, it would be fantastic. There must be one of those millionaires using those money and they decide I'm going to pick this Formula One team to promote Euroscepticism through Damon Hill.
There might be a job in the marketing department, actually, Johnny.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're doing such a great job.
Well, you know, if there's 50 million knocking around, you know, just if I'm just skimming a little bit, I've got to be doing better than here. And I don't have to get up in the morning so early. It'd be marvellous. I'll talk to you about that a little bit later.
We'll have a chat.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, OK.
No, but I'm serious.
I'm serious.
Seriously, I'm sure I can get one of my Eurosceptic pals.
Yeah.
Eurosceptic pal.
Do you know what? Damon Hill's been in the shed. It's been lovely talking to you. Thank you very much indeed for coming down here, Dan. You'll be racing another weird thing later and taking part in our competition Thatcher today and just being a good chap around the house.
Yes.
Now, talk from good chaps around the house and around the shed to good chaps out there doing it with our outside broadcast team. The man... the way things are in the country today, who could blame him? They comment as well. The mail there held by Damon Hill, ladies and gentlemen.
Damon.
Petrol is up. It's going to go up 10p a gallon. And it is another classic example of hypocrisy. They just put the money up to raise revenues, make out they're discouraging people from driving, but actually no one is, because everyone needs their cars for jobs.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Well, they're just doing the new Labour breaststroke, aren't they?
Yeah.
Bringing it all in. Makes me mad.
There's something.
Good, marvellous stuff. OK, well, David, I can see you're going to have lots to talk about with these ladies. In what could be one of the most difficult breakfasts you've ever enjoyed, I would think. Because they're just going to giggle.
No, we'll try to be before.
Have you got a flush on there, love? Yeah, haven't you? She's got a real flush on there. It's lovely to see. Do you know what? This is Channel 4. You're watching The Big Breakfast. We've got Damon Hill on the show this morning and two of his biggest admirers.
Yeah!
Back in a couple of seconds, don't go away.